Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of The Track. A serious intro today. No stupid little songs, no stupid little gags, no dumb parodies that you can't work out whether they're actually a parody or why I even spent the time making it. But I think the time for comedy in my life might have passed. I think I'm moving into something a bit more serious. And, I wouldn't want to call myself a journalist just yet. That's obviously for other people to speculate on, and I wouldn't say I'm the voice of a generation or Australia's next Louis Theroux or someone that's kind of doing things that other people aren't doing and not afraid to ask questions or take risks. Obviously they're words that other people would have to say, and if they wanted to say them, those ones I just said about me in the context of being a great Australian and journalist, that would be good words to use if you just want to scroll back. But anyway, Lidia Thorpe is on the show. Oh, we're on. Yeah. What would your podcast name be?
Burn It Down.
That's good. I mean, that would pop, and that you could see it. Like, actually, that's crazy. You said that, and I can already see it, like at the top of the Apple podcast charts. Just Burn It Down, 1 or 2. It's like Joe Rogan Experience. Burn It Down. Have you ever thought about doing it, becoming a podcaster?
Well, I have done a few in my time, and I did one with Uncle Jack Charles, and that made it to the Virgin Airlines podcast.
Oh, got on the plane?
It did, surprisingly.
That's fun to get on the plane.
Yeah, so I need to do it because I love a yarn.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stories to be told, but also put a bit of, black comedy into it because I'm good at that too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to say because I was talking... Well, Tony Armstrong and I, we're good friends, and we always talk about how, Aboriginal people, First Nations people are, the funniest people in the world. Like, I've done comedy all over the world. No one laughs and has a better time than, Aboriginal people. And it's that's the area you need to go into.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you're doing great work as it is at the moment.
I do talk about it because my partner and I, we do black comedy naturally at home all the time, and even with my kids we're always doing black comedy. White
people, and I'll speak on behalf of white people right now, they seem to dominate the comedy space, but they're so unfunny.
The way I deal with racism, my partner and I have this running joke is in the street, if I see someone that's not a fan of mine, usually Darren Jerry's and Karen Jerry's.
Yeah.
So it's our way, it's our little code that we say to each other, and he'll say, Darren Jerry on the right there. And I'm like, okay, let's go left.
When you yelled out at the King, was that planned or was that you just were like, fuck, I'm going to yell at this guy?
So I was laying in bed the night before and my partner said, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. I'm going to hand him this writ to be served from which my uncle gave me. Can you serve Charlie this writ to appear in for genocide and crimes against humanity? So I had this piece of paper and it was in my hand. And my partner said, well, what are you going to do if you can't give that to him? And I said, I don't know. I'll just have to play up. And he was like, well,
it's a great game plan. I like it.
All right. Well, whatever you do, I got your back, he said.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. So I flew to Canberra the next morning and hearing the national anthem of England was violent, made me ill. And then the Australian, colonised anthem, that was double violence. And just having everyone eyeballing me and, a few Liberal female senators saying,
people were looking at you?
Oh,
they were like, she's going to do something. They're watching you.
Yeah, they were
really?
watching me. Yeah.
Had you told anyone that you had planned? Or there was just a vibe that you were going to
I didn't know
mischief?
What I was going to do. I did not know. And I had a few Liberal senators saying, don't you play up, don't do it. And I'm chewing gum and I'm like, I better not chew gum anymore. And one of the Liberal senators like, well, at least take the gum out of your mouth. So I quickly did that, put that in a serviette. And
This is so funny because, like, when everyone kind of read about it in the paper, it was like, mastermind this political attack, and you're just there getting outraged with no plan, just getting angrier and angrier and angrier.
Angrier, and I was sweating because I had the possum skin coat on.
Yeah.
And it was the hottest day, and the adrenaline and the possum skin coat, so I was sweating. And there was this poor old white fella. He was so excited to be able to meet the king when he was meant to be walking down in front of us all.
Is he a politician or just a civilian?
No, just a civilian.
Yeah.
And he was standing up for a really long time, and so I started worrying about him.
Yeah.
This is before anything, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Do you need a seat?" He didn't know who I was.
Okay, he would have been the most... If he's there to see King Charles and then you're helping him, he would have been the most confused man of all time. Because you're not in his, like, crossover of interests, I imagine.
No, and I was really, like, he was an elder.
Yeah.
So I was worried about him
Of
standing
course.
for too long. And then, I called some people over and said, look, this old fella needs a seat. Then I took my spot again, and the Liberal women were trying to box me out.
Yeah.
And because I was, an A-grade netballer, played wing defence,
Here we go. It all comes back
I know how
around.
to box people out. Don't even go there with me. So I stood wide and held my ground. And I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Don't interrupt him.
Yep.
Maybe he'll say, we need a treaty in this country, and I'm ready to treaty.
Right. You thought he might say...
No, I thought,
you
give
were...
him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
Let him
okay.
finish. Don't be rude, because if you interrupt him, your haters are going to hate you for being rude and interrupting him.
Yes.
So let him finish, because he might say something good.
Yeah.
So I let him finish. I'm like, righto, you've said nothing. You've given me nothing. You've given my ancestors nothing. I'm going out.
So that was the tipping point. You're sweating in the possum coat. There's an old man who might faint. The Liberal women are trying to, shoulder you, and you're like, enough is enough.
Yes, that's right. I saw the Minister for Indigenous Australians. She ducked in and hid as soon as I took the floor. So she was shame, and you can see that in a lot of the footage. And I just did it. And I had no plan except for don't swear. Don't swear.
Yeah.
Whatever you do,
It'd be hard
don't
not
swear.
to swear. I
It
watch
was.
Question Time sometimes. I'd be like, how is no one yelling out? For fuck's sake.
Yeah. And I was surprised. I was like going further and further towards the king. And I'm like, is anyone going to stop me in my mind?
So those
And
netball skills. You're just
so
darting
I
around
just
people.
kept going and going. And then you could see the
And then you're
security
there.
going, is anyone, what do we do? What do we do? And then these guys started coming at me. And I'm like, all right, now
It's
I'll
on.
retreat.
Because what you yelled, not my king,
Not my king. You are not sovereign. You
and you're riffing at this wasn't pre-written. This is
you
just
are a
from the heart.
I came up with a new word, a genocidalist.
A genocidalist.
Yeah.
Genocidalist. Wow.
Well, I left school at 14, remember? So I can
I
make
know,
these
but everyone
words
knows
up.
what it means. Genocidalist. Language is about communication, and you communicated the message. So as those words left your mouth, were you like, "Oh no, I've done it"? Could you feel that everyone now was going to just pounce on you?
Yes.
And by pounce, I mean like the entire, not only the Australian public, it was like a huge news story in the UK
Around
as
the
well.
world.
Yeah, around the entire world.
Around the world. Well, first of all, I wasn't sure what the repercussions were in terms of where I was going. Like when they grabbed me,
Who grabbed you? Security. Yeah.
AFP,
Yeah.
security, and like they manhandled me gently.
Yes.
So I didn't feel like I was going to be flogged.
Well,
I was hoping I wasn't going to get flogged
God,
around the back. But when they took me through this back door, I said, where are you taking me? And they said, oh, Senator, we're just taking you to the foyer. And I was like, oh really? Okay.
That's not bad. Yeah, get some
And-
scones, have a cup of tea, you'll be right.
They were really nice.
So they just took you outside, basically.
They took me to the foyer and I said, no problem. Look, I'm just going to go to my office, grab my things and get on the plane and go. I said, I'm not going to disrupt anymore. And that was it.
Oh, but it was there anything more that came from it? Like,
I got a censure.
What happens with that? What does that mean?
Oh, the Senate just says, Senator Thorpe, you've been very naughty girl and you shouldn't be telling the colonising king anything.
And that's it. You just get a
slap on the wrist.
Not even a slap on the wrist.
Didn't even
really.
miss a day's pay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But they didn't, like, no one on behalf of the royal family, like, reached out to, like, discuss things or anything like that? Because people got mad. Like, like really mad. And I worry, I wonder sometimes what the sentiment towards kind of, the royal family is in this country. Because to me, it's kind of like, it's almost like the Kardashians or something in a way now. Do you know what I mean?
True.
The crown and this kind of the way people follow it. Yes, there is this kind of real kind of old country vibe to a lot of older Australians. But I was talking to people my age that were being like, that's unacceptable. You can't speak to a king like that. And yes, maybe it's not, maybe there are other channels, but I just couldn't comprehend how people were getting so upset about it.
I wrote to him twice asking to meet with him about a treaty in this country. And he ignored me. I'm a senator, using the title.
And he would call you senator, by the way.
Yeah.
He wouldn't get the free pass.
Why can't I have an audience? And this is, prior to that day. And I thought, well, if you're going to keep ignoring me, then I'll let you know who I am and what we want on the public stage. And I have no regrets. I would do it again.
Did you see his face when you started yelling at him?
Yeah,
what did he look like?
He was a bit shocked.
Yeah, he would have been terrified.
I think he went whiter than
the
whiteness he has.
Hi there. Hope you're enjoying today's show. Currently here at The Track, we're on the lookout for sponsors that might be keen to partner with us to deliver great content and messaging across our platforms. Keen viewers and listeners might notice that we currently don't have any sponsors. That's not because our doors are closed. In fact, I couldn't describe our doors as being there. We don't have doors. If you're a business or even a private interest group and you think, hey, that's the platform for us, get in touch. We could do things like this. Valvoline, you know what I mean. Or even paid partnerships. Written and spoken by S. Taunton, authorised by the Liberal National Party, Canberra. Wow. What a future we're gonna have. Get in touch and keep enjoying the show. Do you get looks on the street?
All the time.
Really? What is it? And it is always the Darrens and the Karens.
The Darrens and the Karens, but also there's a lot of people that want to just have a yarn with me. Good people that support what I'm saying. And who say, look, the media really gives you a hard time. And I think that, don't agree with everything you say, but you're really educating people in this country on what the real issues are for our people, or what the issue of the Australian government is really with our people rather than our issues.
I think it is. The media, I think it is, it's almost like when something gets a hold and they've got an easy kind of narrative, it kind of gets pushed. And I worked on the project for years, but it's like, I don't know if it's this subconscious thing or it is a conscious decision, but it becomes like, it doesn't really matter what the players are. When you become that, it becomes like a headline and it becomes a narrative that gets spun. Are you aware of that when you're doing things, or when you're championing certain causes, or when you're deciding to be a disruptor? Do you mind if I call you a disruptor?
Go for it.
Yeah. Because don't you think
infiltrator, disruptor.
Is that all on your business card?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Burn it down.
Burn it down. Coming soon to Spotify and Apple and all good podcasts. Are you aware of that it's like, it doesn't really matter what I do. It's going to get spun in whatever way it's going to get spun.
Doesn't matter what I do, what I say, what I wear, how I look. It's always spun in a negative way. And I think that's to detract from what I'm saying, what I'm putting out there to the nation, which is quite confronting for a lot of people who've been quite comfortable in their lives, living on stolen land and benefiting from stolen land. So, of course, that's going to make people feel a little uneasy with their lives.
Hey, so one of the questions I wanted to ask you is I don't often get to talk to politicians. Do you classify yourself as a politician, by the way?
I find it really hard to, because I'm grassroots activist, work for my people all my life. I struggle with the title senator, so I only make those that I don't like call me senator, but for everyone else, it's Lidia.
Did I call you senator when you? I don't think
no,
I did.
you didn't, which is great.
I just assumed that you would like me. Oh, that's fine. Because I think it's such a. I will get to the question I wanted to ask you soon, but there is such a I guess a juxtaposition or like this kind of butting heads of grassroots politics, which essentially is what like politics in Australia should be. It's like you're representing your community and you're taking their issues to like a forum in the middle, and then you discuss it and you try to get the best for your community. But then it becomes, it doesn't become that. You get elected and then you're in this like washing machine and you're like conniving and playing little political games. So it's hard to be like, to stay on the outside of that. How do you do that?
Well, when I came into this role, my grandmother always said to me, never forget where you come from, never forget the struggle of our people. You know, I don't hang out with the politicians. I hang out with the grassroots communities that have raised me, and I won't leave them behind. I'll continue to fight for them. So, you know, I'll sit in the park and yarn with mob. I'll sit on the bus and I'll make sure that I'm sitting next to elders, not just Aboriginal elders, but all elders, and listen to their stories of struggle. So that's what maintains me being grounded, and, you know, that's why I'm here.
Because does everyone hang out together up there? Like I saw a thing David Pocock posted. It was something to do with like gaming laws ruining some kind of morning sport that they all play in Canberra. But I know you hear things about everyone just like hanging out, and it's a workplace. I get it. It's fine. But is it just like everyone across different sides of the political spectrum are just hanging out and like going to lunch?
I wouldn't say going to lunch. I know the morning sports are a thing, and I chose not to play those sports because I do have white line fever, and I don't want to hurt Bridget McKenzie or anybody else that's
I think
playing.
Bridget McKenzie would have white line fever as well.
Oh, she does.
I
she
like
does.
Bridget McKenzie. We interviewed her on the project and she was always very spicy.
Oh, yeah. So, it's probably better that I don't,
That you don't play.
get on the netball court like I used to.
Yeah.
Because I can't have a friendly game.
Nice. I respect that in a leader and someone who's up there in Canberra fighting for the needs of community.
But, you know, when there's drinks time in Canberra, they get together. It can be quite gross, but I think those behaviours have improved over time. But, you know, when it's in the chamber, it's full on. It's dog eat dog. Or
totally. It's
wild.
When you're in Parliament, and I mean, you've caused like so many headlines from in Parliament. I mean, what is it like? Is it like, I mean, sometimes you see people in question time dozing in the background, like backbenchers.
There's so much time wasted in the Senate, and I just think about all of the people that are struggling in this country and the good decisions we could be making. When a parliamentarian dies from 50 years ago, they could spend a whole day or half a day on condolence motion talking about that politician. So I've written in my will, do not speak about me when I am dead. Get on with the business, because, you know, you could have like just an acknowledgement, yep, this person passed, they made a contribution, all right, move on, get on with business. No disrespect, but really, taxpayers' money could be better spent.
But there is that kind of thing, and I think this is kind of where I was kind of going at the start with the question I had, is like, I've always wondered, do people who get into politics, are they doing it because they want to make the world or their community a better place, and then they get corrupted by the system? This is me also just assuming that all politicians are evil, which is not true. But, you know, from the outset, this is kind of a broader opinion that people have in the community. And like, do they have good reasons to get into it? And whatever their ideology is, they think they can make the world a better place, and then they get corrupted by the system? Or are they just power-hungry maniacs?
I think there's a bit of both. I think with the two major parties, I know the coalition, they have pre-selections. Labor just pick and choose who they want out of the departments who seems to be good at the time.
So who pick in, like the power brokers in the ALP? They just are like,
they pick
you're
and choose,
in.
yes. And I've had Labor senators say, oh, they just called me up to see if I wanted a Senate position.
What?
And I said, look, I'm having a baby. And they said, that's fine, you can go on maternity leave and you can get all these privileges, if you like, and come back in when you're ready.
It's a pretty good gig.
For the pre-selection that I went through the Greens, that was grueling.
Yeah.
To have to justify why I wanted to have the Senate spot, and I had to convince every Greens member in the state that I wanted that role. And I thank the Greens for giving me this space, but yeah, some politicians don't have to go through that process, and I think that every politician should have to go through a process. And I've spoken to some, say, a Liberal senator who said, oh, what are you going to do when you leave here? And I said, well, I'm thinking about a few things. And he said, oh, I just couldn't do it. I'm so used to being in this role. I can't think of myself being anywhere else.
No.
And that's sad.
That's career politician stuff. That's like Morgan Freeman when he gets out in Shawshank Redemption of jail and doesn't know what to do, so he commits a crime to go back in.
Institutionalised. And he did say that he was institutionalised, this Liberal senator. And I just thought, wow, that we need to really shake up Parliament. We need more people with lived experience in the place making decisions for people in this country.
Yeah, because I don't ever trust career politicians.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm somewhat politically engaged. Like, I should be more politically engaged. But there's something about someone, like, if you meet them and they were like, ever since I was 15, I knew I wanted to be in politics. I'm like, why? Like, you're not the person we want to be in politics.
No.
You should be... Pauline Hanson I have, huge issues politically with, but, running a fish and chip store or whatever, it's like, at least you've been in the community and society, and now you're going into politics. If you've just kind of been at Sydney Uni and then you go into student politics, and then it's like, how are you going to make informed decisions on behalf of the entire populace? It doesn't make sense to me.
There's a lot of politicians that, have got parents or family members, and they've just gone through the ranks, and they don't know any different. They've just been in politics all their lives, and then they end up politicians. So if you don't know the real world, or you haven't had $10 left to your name and you've got 3 kids, then how can you know better than people on the streets about what is best for them?
Oh, hi there. Me again. I just realised that even though we currently don't have any sponsors, I'm always on the lookout for any opportunity to flog tickets to my stand-up comedy shows. And in fact, this is crazy timing. I'm just about to announce that I'm going out on tour next year with my brand new comedy show, This Must Be the Place. Tickets will go on sale December 5th, and I'm coming to all the major cities in Australia, plus other regional areas. You'll hear such classics like Valvoline, you know what I mean, and written and spoken by S. Taunton, authorised by the Liberal National Party, Canberra. And December 5th on sale date, what a perfect Christmas present. Just when I thought this podcast episode couldn't get any better. This Must Be the Place, the new stand-up show by Sam Taunton. Yes, this ad is dragging out. Hey, so we do this thing where we go through people's bank transactions.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a few transactions you could show us?
I
What
do.
have you been up to? What have you been tapping away at?
Well, yesterday I tapped away at the fish shop in Smith Street.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, the fish and chippery. Is that what it's called?
No. Oh. Well, it's Pearl Seafoods, but it's a new fish shop. And I brought some Lakes Entrance flathead tails.
Oh, now we're talking.
Now, I lived in Lakes Entrance for 10 years, and
How far away is it? Like from Melbourne?
4.5 hours.
Yeah, we're in Melbourne, by the way. Yeah, so it's a decent drive.
It is, but I've never paid $30 a kilo for flatty tails.
$30 a kilo.
Outrageous.
This country is.
But he was lovely, and he even said, "Oh, I bet you never paid this much money."
Oh, he
for
said
legs.
it?
Yeah,
Oh.
he did. He did.
Geez,
it was
twisting the
worth
knife.
it.
It was good?
That was so good. I had that last night.
Oh, nice.
The other thing I did was in my it tells the story, doesn't it? What
It's
you spend in
terrifying
your
when you
bank
look through.
account.
Mine's so annoying. It's like Uber Eats, parking fines. That's
don't
it.
do Uber
Subscriptions I
Eats.
forgot to cancel.
Oh yeah, I've done that before, but
Yeah.
I've gone through. I had my eyebrows done
Nice.
at the beauty and brow parlor. That cost me $15.
$15?
They do a great job threading.
That seems incredibly cheap. I was talking to someone on this podcast the other week about I don't know the cost of any kind of, as a dumb man, I do nothing for my appearance. But every time I hear things, I either get it way wrong, I either think things are too cheap or they're way more expensive. So $15, that seems like nothing to me.
Well, it's $15 in Frankston
Oh, yeah.
and it's $20 in Preston.
In Preston, it's more.
Same place.
What?
Yep.
What do you put that down to? People will pay more in Preston, you think?
Yeah.
Is Preston fancier than Frankston?
It's
becoming
kind
that
of
way.
the new Thornbury.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I don't live too far away from that. Okay, that's so interesting.
Yep.
And
So,
Frango is still Frankston.
I love Frank.
I like it as well. I like it down there. It's fun. Every time I do gigs down there, I have the best time. It's people are up for it.
Oh, and I have people yelling at me in the street going, "You're that chick. You're grouse. We love you. Keep giving it to him."
Yeah, right.
And whereas in Preston, it's like,
In Preston, I thought
Well,
Preston was
it's
like Courtney
changed.
Barnett has a song about Preston. I thought it was the cool like place where everyone was welcome.
oh, yeah, look, there's still that element.
Yeah.
But then there's the yes voters that are really like still dirty on me.
Yeah, okay.
So I've
So
gotta
that
watch
is
out
another
for
thing
them.
you have to grapple with. We'll get back to your transactions, but the progressive people that don't like you now,
Yeah, it's a bit
who
of a
once would have
shame.
been on your side in a huge way.
That's right. But I am getting a lot of feedback now from non-Aboriginal white people, particularly white males, saying, you know, I've been studying why you voted no, and actually you were right. And they've apologised for
Wow.
attacking me way back then. People are starting to understand why, what my position was really about and what I'm about. So I get a lot of older white males now reaching
white
out,
men.
particularly. Yeah,
You don't ever really hear pro stories about older white men, so that is
that's right.
So that's a win for them, I guess.
And a win for me, because it means if you're changing the hearts and minds of people like that, then you're making some kind of a difference. They have a lot of influence in this country.
Do they ever? Do they ever? What else have you got in that bank account?
And look, I went and brought a big bag of dog food
Oh,
for my
so
dog
important.
at Bunnings.
Bunnings have a crazy pet situation, don't they?
They do.
Yeah. Is it, how big are we talking? Was it heavy to
It
lift?
was like 20 kilo,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but I lifted
bullshit.
it from the shelves to the register to the car.
No
so
one
I'm
helped?
trying to get my. No, I'm just trying to,
Get your,
show how tough
your
I am.
netboard days back in action, training for a return to the sport. 20 kilos. What sort of dog do you have?
I have a Neapolitan Mastiff. It's a rescue.
Oh, a Neapolitan.
She is She weighs the same as I do,
What?
and she drools.
Hell yeah.
She's
She's a proper dog.
She's a proper dog.
Yeah.
She protects me, and I just love her to death.
Yeah. Do you take her to the dog park?
No, she's too big for that. She likes to be on her own for her walk.
She prefers.
I take her
solo
down the
time.
creek, Merry Creek.
Yeah, nice.
In
Beautiful.
fact, one day I was sitting there and I said to my partner, because he's a Wurundjeri man, I said, just think about this area before colonisation, and we're sitting on the creek, and I said, just imagine it. And I swear to you right now, just after I said that, this kangaroo
No.
jumped
Down on Merry Creek.
Merry Creek, back of Coburg Basketball Stadium there. This kangaroo jumped the whole perimeter of the Merry Creek, you know how wide it is.
Yeah.
Jumped
Over it?
straight over it. And we just looked at each other like ancestors were listening.
Yeah.
And then my dog starts jumping
Big Drawley McDraw
behind
over
to
here.
chase the kangaroo, and like Scooby-Doo stopped at the edge because she knew that she couldn't jump the span of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it was
an amazing
amazing.
story.
It was amazing. And then just kept jumping away towards the soccer field, and I don't know
Was
where.
it a big kangaroo?
It was
Must have been
massive,
huge.
Massive. Just come from nowhere.
I love when you see a big kangaroo.
Oh, yeah.
It's majestic, just enormous, just like owning the space.
Yep.
It's exciting. So, did you have any other dog related transactions or anything else in there that might cause joy, or even
What
not
else
joy?
have I
Anything that's
got?
annoyed you?
Oh, I had to give $50 to my daughter. I
Here we
mean,
go.
she's always, you
Here
know,
we go.
she's like, "Oh, you're a politician. You can afford this."
That's
I'm
what
like,
she says
"Daughter."
to you.
Oh yeah.
That is the problem if she knows exactly what. Like my mum right now, I wouldn't be able to. I know she has a job, but I wouldn't. She works, I think, for the New South Wales government. Wouldn't be able to tell you what she does. But when it's you, it's like everyone knows what you're up to.
Yep.
So you have to kind of bow down, I guess.
Regular transactions to the baby.
Yeah.
And you know, she's doing her exams. Her last exam is tomorrow morning.
Oh my God. What's she
So
studying?
I'm excited. She's done accounting, business, English, and tomorrow is sport and rec.
Oh, sport. I mean, sport and rec. She'll be fine for sport and rec. She
Yeah.
don't have to study for sport and rec.
Yeah, well, I reckon she's done the hard yards.
She's done all the
already,
hard
so-
ones. Yeah, sport and rec is chill.
Yeah,
Chill. Is it hard? Because you left school when you were 14.
Yep.
Is it? How do you go passing on advice about exams
Well,
to your daughter?
when I have tried to say, you know, is there anything I can help you with, Dort? She's like, "Are you serious?" Mum, you left school at 14. Don't be ridiculous. You wouldn't even understand.
Oh my God.
So I get shut down.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. God, that's kids, huh?
Oh,
Give me
yeah.
money and shut up.
Yep.
I don't have kids. I sound like a jaded parent right now. Hey, it's me again, the guy from the podcast talk show thing you're watching or listening to. I just thought I'd pop back in. This little advertisement jingle is fun. Now I've learned how to do this. I'm kind of just having fun. How do you think this episode's going? Call in. I mean, we can't do that. That was stupid, Sam. Why did you say that? Anyway, I mean, maybe this is a little halftime breakdown like they do in sports. You know, you watch a game and then these ex-players come out and they're like, the defense is not good enough. Yeah, and I think the defense isn't good enough in this episode. Politicians scare me, so I was very nervous doing this. But I thought there was some good points. Will I win a Walkley? Hopefully. If not, I mean, it's like, why did I do it? Why did I do it? Anyway, hope you're enjoying it. So I've often thought about this. What if we banned political parties? And so we just have only independents? And then, I mean, maybe it would be more time consuming and then every piece of legislation would take forever to get through the upper house and the lower house. But I mean, at least you wouldn't have people voting along party lines.
That's right.
It's like when two people commit a crime and you separate them so you get their side of the story. It's like, why couldn't we do that in politics?
Why can't we represent the people that we serve?
Exactly.
Rather than the party that we serve. And that's the problem.
Because no one gives a fuck
Absolutely.
about the party.
No. But, you know, if you look at, say, the Aboriginal politicians in Parliament that belong to parties, they have to toe the party line regardless of what's happening to their own people or their own land. I've stood with Aboriginal politicians who've agreed to destroy their own sacred sites. Now, that's because they have to bow to the party line rather than the people that they're a part of.
But you say, are they bowing to the party line because they think there's greater good in bowing to the party line because whatever their agenda is or whatever the greater good that they want to accomplish is, they can do further down the line?
Maybe.
Is it this weird little game of like, this is what I mean about the
I can't
corruption.
fathom it.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep at night if I had to do that.
Yeah.
So it's actually, I can't fathom it. And I actually, you know, take pity on those people because, you know, in Aboriginal law, you have to obey the law of the land. And the law of the land is to protect the water, protect the land, protect the totems for all generations.
I guess you can not vote with party. I mean, you left the Greens, for example. Like, how do you leave a political party? Do you just call them up? You just give them a
Well,
call?
I
and
tried
say,
to
"What's up?"
negotiate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat with Adam Bant, who's now the ex-leader, and I get along well with Adam. Adam, I thought is still a good man, and sat with him and talked through what I wanted and how we could negotiate a way out, and we basically came up with an amicable decision of I have to leave.
It's like a grown-up breakup, isn't it?
That's
beautiful.
It was, and made me sad, because I've made so many great friends and connections, lifelong friends who I'm still friends with.
And is it awkward now when you see? Well, there's not many Greens left, actually, is there? I was going to say, if you see them in Parliament, is it awkward?
No, not at all.
It's not.
No.
So it is all fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple that irk me, but majority of them I'm fine with.
Yeah, people find the Greens annoying. I mean, they can be annoying, definitely. Are you like as an independent now? You sit alone. Do people try to make deals with you, like from the big parties? Are they ever coming up to you being like, "Yo, can you jump onto this?" Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. And
oh yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I'll work it.
Yeah.
I'm a good negotiator.
Love it.
I'll negotiate, and it might mean that I'm talking to One Nation or the Liberal Party. It might absolutely.
So where do you think you sit? Because I mean, there's so much public perception and like conversation around you. Where do you sit in the political spectrum? If we're looking at it as this like spectrum that starts, in the far left all the way to the far right, where would you put yourself?
Well, I refuse to be labelled left or right. I am a sovereign black woman, so I'll always fight for the sovereignty of my people, and sometimes that is left, sometimes that is right. So I could be anywhere on that spectrum as long as it benefits my people, my land, my water, and future generations. And when I say future generations, I'm talking about future generations of everyone who lives in this country, not just our people.
Do you think there is a perception out there that you don't like people that are not Aboriginal or First Nations? I feel like they're that as well. Like, it's people are like, oh, she's has hate towards white people, for example.
Yeah, I have a white friend, a couple.
Okay, what are their names? Own up.
Well, look, yeah, it is a mistruth, and when I say white people or whiteness, I'm talking about the system.
Yeah.
The system that was created by a bunch of old white men who did not take into account women, who completely dismissed women in this country when they established the Constitution. They completely dismissed people with disability.
Yeah.
They completely dismissed, LGBTIQ plus, like so many.
It's from a different
parts.
time.
Absolutely. So we need to update the Constitution, and the way I believe we can do that is through a treaty, and we need to mature as a nation. So whiteness is about the policies and the legislation of old, and even the legislation today, and we need to decolonise our ways as a nation to be able to look after everybody.
So what does decolonisation look like? So you were like a very prominent no voice in the discussion around the voice.
Well, treaty first is not taking your backyard. So your backyard's are safe.
That's what everyone thinks, that maybe you actually wouldn't turn up at my house and have my tiny little courtyard out the back.
No, I wouldn't. Your houses are safe. And whatever you've worked for in your life, it's safe through a treaty.
Macquarie Bank, you have my mortgage. They'll be stoked to hear that.
But, treaty is about an agreement between two sovereigns. We're sovereign. This random king from another country says he's sovereign of this land. So, the agreement is meant to be between us and him and his kingdom.
Yeah.
Rather than what we're seeing at the moment with internal kind of treaties in states and territories. And it's about an end to the war. A war was declared on our people when those 1788 boats arrived here, they came with guns, they held us at gunpoint, and they took our land. They dispossessed our people and they murdered our people for our land. That's an act of war. So there's not ever been an agreement through treaty, which is the mechanism, to end that war. And we want some land back, all the Crown land that's in this country. We should be able to have that back through a treaty. We should be able to self-determine what is best for us rather than governments tell us what they think is best for us. We should be economically independent. You know, rather than being the poorest people in our own country, there should be some equity or some wealth that
back.
we're able to benefit from as part of this.
But how does a government implement you can draw up the treaty, there can be conversations, but then how do you implement all these changes over time to lead to those results?
Well, we could do it in local government areas. We can do it through state and territory. We need an overarching framework that says that, you know, that this needs to happen first and foremost, and that family clans through those local government and state and territories need to self-determine what is best for them. So what is best for my people, Gunai, Gunichumara and Djapurrung people, may not be the same as, say, the Larrakia people in the NT. So we should all be at the negotiating table saying, well, this is what we want. You know, we don't want destruction of our land and water anymore, and we want that Crown land over there so that we can be economically independent. So, you know, there are a couple of examples. You know, we have a coal-fired power station on Gunai country in the Latrobe Valley. It's the dirtiest coal-fired power station in the whole country. Well, we'd like to see that shut down, thank you very much, because our babies are being born very small as a result of living side by side in that community. And there's no jobs for my people in the Latrobe Valley. So let's treaty about the shutdown of that coal-fired power station, and let's look at ways that we can employ our people amongst, you know, the rest of the community and build that community up to look at, say, renewable energy and the new technologies and opportunities that brings.
I think like one of the things that often gets brought up with the treaty, like why it won't work, people bring it up in the media quite a lot, is that Indigenous Australia is not like a homogenous group of people, right? Like there's over 800 different like countries, essentially. You could break it down. And people often then cite like there was a treaty in New Zealand and there was a single language group, and they're like, so it's obviously it's just so much simpler. It's like, just get everyone on a call. Like, just put a big Zoom call out, and like we could do it. Yes, there's a lot of like people involved, but it's like it's not like it's not doable. I feel like it's, you know, as much as there's kind of cultural and systemic, probably racist attitudes that are flowing through, people using admin as like an argument against it just seems crazy to me.
Look, if we had designated seats in Parliament at every level, including local government, that could start to see a significant change in not only our lives, but communities that we serve. Blackfellas look after poor people, poor white people. That's just who we are. We never want to ever see anyone doing it hard, and that's how I've been raised. When my grandmother set up the first Aboriginal health service in this state, you know, it was about looking after our people, but Nan also looked after poor white people in Fitzroy and Gertrude Street in those days. So that's what we can teach the rest of the country is how to care for community as a whole. We have 79 councils in Victoria. I worked for the peak body of local government. I saw those 79 councils. They, you know, there's some good councils and there's some councils that need a lot of work. But if we started at the absolute grassroots level rather than the federal level and work up, then I think,
anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Yep.
If there can be no poor people on Gertrude Street now, anything's possible.
Well, it's gentrified now.
It's so gentrified. It's crazy walking down Gertrude Street. Hey, thanks so much for chatting. Before we let you go, where are we heading? I think in this country, politically, and in terms of like the conversation around First Nations people. Are we heading in the right direction? Are things getting better?
No, they're getting worse. They're unfortunately getting worse. Yeah, we need real radical change in this country, and I think that we have a lot of good up-and-coming young people coming through that will really change the state of the nation, and we need more young people in politics. We need more people of colour in politics. We need more women, and we need to get rid of the two major parties if we're going to see any change.
To make any progress.
That's right.
Okay, one final question. What's Bob Katter really like?
I have problems with Bob Katter.
Yeah.
As a woman, and I don't think I should say any more than that.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. It was so great to meet you. And will you, if you start a podcast, I'm the first listener, burn it down.
Burn it down.
Why
not?
Coming soon. Can you be a senator with a podcast?
Can do whatever we like.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. That's the problem with politics.
Oh.